So here's a very quick run through of the new Altra Lone Peak 4.0s. So these are the newest ones. These are actually, if you have a look here, you see the height on them. These are actually the mids as well. So these have slightly more ankle support on them than the standard ones. So you said move them down. Ever so lightweight. So some of the features just to look at, you may or may not be familiar with Altras and had them before, but the latest, the 4.0's got an updated mesh on the front here, so the upper is much more breathable, and it's quite noticeable when I went running. I can actually feel the airflow coming through my feet a lot more than the previous 3.0's, so that's a great feature on these. You can see the Altras have also geared things. You've got a little hook here, and then corresponding gaiter traps down here and at the back with a velcro section, and what that allows you to do is attach gaiters easily to these to keep stones and stuff out. You also get them in the standard non-mid version with the standard trainer shoe shape, but I actually prefer these. As you can see, I run on quite rocky terrain here in the US, and I prefer the support on my ankles as I have a tendency to go over a bit more often. They're also super lightweight. They're certainly not the weight of a hiking boot. They just feel like a running trainer. So I would wear these as well when I'm out hiking. There's a couple of subtle changes I've noticed. If you look up close, they've slightly changed the way the lacing goes here, which gives you a bit more flexibility on how to lace it up. But for me, the biggest change is, if you look from on top, the sizing's a little bit different, not massively, but they feel like they've got a bit more room than the old pair. So I would say, as a rule of thumb with these, I just buy these half a size up to your normal size. Sometimes I used to recommend up to a whole size bigger. The underside's had quite a radical change as well. The grip is noticeably more grippy. There's more lugs and stuff around this area where you push off with the toes to just give you a bit more grip when you're kind of running and you're up on the balls of your feet. So I really like the grip of these on heavy rock, and you can see it's quite an aggressive tread on the grip here overall. Other than that, the only other thing to really mention on these is that they also do a waterproof version they now call it the RSM. They used to call it the Neo. It's about an extra 30 bucks. But if you're running in the summer, these are great. In the winter, you might want to consider using the waterproof version, the RSM, which has got, it's not quite as breathable, but it's super waterproof on top, so it's kind of splash proof. But in a nutshell, that's kind of the Lone Peak 4.0s. They're, I'd say, a little bit more comfortable than the old 3.0s, even though the cushioning is still the same 25mm. Running in them, my heel doesn't quite feel like it's going down at the back quite so much, and they feel a little bit more cushioned. So there you go. This would suit people with sort of average to slightly wider feet, people that suffer from blisters from some of the thinner, more narrow shoe makes. They'd also be, I think, a really big win for people that are more of a slow plod runner like me, rather than your super nimble types. They're built for comfort, not speed, a bit like me. So there you go. That's the Altra Lone Peak 4.0s.